Now, some of you would say that we are late to this video, and I would agree with you, but then both of us would be wrong. We've been trying to push out a video on the Nothing 2A Plus for about a week now, but this keeps happening. And while I'll talk more about this in a later video or possibly on Instagram, but right now let's talk about the Nothing Phone 2A Plus, and it's gone on sale in India today. So it's priced at 27,999, and with some offers you can get it for much cheaper. And as the name suggests, Plus, you would think that this phone will have a larger overall size, possibly a bigger display, because with the Samsung phones or with iPhones, you would see a Plus and you would think that larger phones. But in the case of the Nothing Phone 2A or the Plus, the size of the phone and the dimensions of the phone remain exactly the same. You do have this new colorway, which I really like, in this gray color with this stainless steel accent, which looks phenomenal according to me and is now my most favorite colorway for the Nothing Phone 2A. But you do have some improvements on the inside. So you have improved cameras, you do have an improved processor, which is an upgrade, and then you have a better battery life on this device. So should you pick this phone up now? Let's talk about it in this video. So as far as the design and overall look and feel along with the materials are concerned, this is basically the same phone as the Nothing Phone 2A. We did a review on that device as well, so if you guys are interested in checking it out, you can go look at that video. The build quality on this is really nice. It's got that old school polycarbonate, which is not easy to shatter and hence improves the durability overall. The front has a 6.7-inch AMOLED display, the same specification as the 2A, with 1300 nits of peak brightness and 700 nits of standard brightness, and you do have Gorilla Glass 5 covering the front. It is a 120Hz refresh rate display, which is pretty good, and it has good color reproduction, good viewing angles, all of that jazz. It's a great display. It has good touch responsiveness as well, and the phone does come with a built-in game mode. If you're somebody who likes gaming, you will see improvements in the game mode as well, specifically designed for the improved processor on the 2A Plus. What is the processor? The processor is the MediaTek 7350 Pro. Now this is built on the same 4nm process, but it does have a faster clock speed as well, so at 3 GHz, and it does have improvements not only on the cores, but it does have improvements in the graphics as well. So you'll see that improvement not only come across in day-to-day work, but also in things like gaming and just general jumping between applications and multitasking. This does show considerable improvement over the Nothing Phone 2A. But is it worth upgrading from the Nothing Phone 2A to go to this? We'll talk about that in just a second. Now you do have two variants with 8GB of RAM or 12GB of RAM, and of course you have that RAM booster option built in as well. So you can pick and choose. 256GB is the storage, and I feel that they might launch a cheaper variant soon, but we don't have any information or any confirmation on that. But for now, this phone seems like it might end up actually replacing the 2A. So you might just end up with the 2A Plus, and the 2A will be phased out, is what my thought process is. As far as camera upgrades are concerned, we've got two main cameras on the back. These are 50-megapixel cameras. Both of them are Samsung sensors. One is a standard and one is an ultra-wide. A good combination of cameras with a good image processor built into the chipset delivers pretty impressive camera results from the main cameras. You also do have a cap of 4K 30 FPS. Here are a few samples from the camera. Along with some video samples. The front camera also gets a bump up to 50 megapixels. Now this is the same sensor that is being used for the ultra-wide sensor, and you have the same aperture here as well with an f2.2. So you can match your front and the ultra-wide images considerably well because of the color and the light capture, but it's not as good in terms of light capture as the f1.88 that you get with the main sensor, which is also a Samsung sensor. Now, like I mentioned, video is capped at 4K at 30 FPS, but you can get 1080p at 60 FPS, and they also have a night mode video, which is 1080p as well. Now, there are some subtle improvements in the operating system, which will be trickled down to the Phone 2A as well, and you do see those improvements across the board, especially in things like gaming. You do have an improved game menu, which also allows for less intrusive game flame mode, which also allows for your calls to appear in pop-up instead of taking up your entire screen. So those kind of things are nice. I also feel that the microphone has been improved a little bit, and here is a sample of audio recording on this microphone. This is a sample of what the microphone on the Nothing Phone 2a Plus sounds like. Now, one thing I did notice is that when I was using the hotspot built into this device, because our Wi-Fi was down because of this, the phone got extremely hot and the speeds that we were getting were not consistent with the usual speeds that we get with other devices. And this was a major issue. And before I could speak to Nothing about this, they actually pushed out an update fixing the hotspot issue. And that was resolved even before the phone was launched. And that's something that I really like. So now the phone doesn't heat or does not heat as much. It still heats in the personal hotspot mode, but it does not heat as much as it was. And it is also giving you proper speeds. Instead of dumbing down to a lower network, it's giving you the faster network, and hence you're able to get faster speeds on the hotspot. Now, if you're looking at performance numbers, you can see some benchmarks on the screen right now. We'll put it right next to the Nothing Phone 2a so you can compare the results, and you can see that there is a considerable 10% or so improvement in terms of performance. Now, while the battery size is the same at 5000 milliamp hours, which is massive for a device of this overall dimension, you are also getting slight improvement in terms of charging speeds. Now, this supports up to 50 watts, whereas the standard 2A only supported 45 watts. You'll have to look for a faster charger for this phone if you already have that 45 watt GAN charger. This does do that extra 5 watts if you want to get it out at the peak performance. Charging times remain almost the same, with a few minutes saved on this device because of that additional 5 watts of charging that you can get with this phone. I saw better optimization in the battery life on this device, especially after that network update was pushed out for that hotspot. We saw improved battery life on this device overall, and we think that this does perform better than the phone 2a in our tests. And also what has been done is that the battery type has been changed a little bit, and this battery is rated for more charging cycles, and the software has been optimized to run on this battery a little bit better, and hence you get better battery life from the 2a Plus. Now let's come back to that original question on whether you should upgrade from the Nothing Phone 2a to the Nothing Phone 2a Plus, and my answer basically is no. If you're happy with the 2a Plus is not a considerable upgrade to the 2a. But the 2a Plus is a good phone and a well-built phone, and they seem to be doing a good job of pushing out software updates. The problem remains with the service center network and that overall issue. And once they can sort all of those things out, the overall company becomes really impressive. So what are your thoughts on this device? Let us know in the comment section below. What are your thoughts on this colorway? Well, let us know in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video, smash like, hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.